Hi, Anton Guinea here, and a massive shout out to all of our athletes over there in Tokyo, Japan. Good luck to everyone. Hope you achieve your goals and your dreams. And a massive shout out to a group of people over there who would be doing some hard work with the athletes called sports psychologists. There'd be a whole range of sports psychs over there doing some mindset work with their athletes, making sure they're prepared mentally for the challenges of competition. Now, one of the techniques that the sports psychs would be using, and the reason that I'm going to shoot this video is to talk about what we call motivating interviews, motivational interviews. Now, if you're a leadership coach, if you're a leader, if you're a friend, you can use this technique to help someone do what's called BMOD, or behavior modification in psychology, we call it. And that is about helping someone unpack new belief systems, cognitive, or new behavioral strategies, tools to get a different result, to get a better result, to get a result that they want to achieve that they're not getting currently. So motivation in interviewing is a real skill set, and it's one that I'm going to share with you now. And I'm going to share the tools that were developed by Miller and Rollnick in 2013, and it's called the OARS process, OARS. Let me talk you through what OARS stands for. First, the O stands for open-ended questions, open-ended questions. And what that means is that we don't use questions in motivational interviewing that are closed. So what I mean by closed questions are questions that are just yes or no answers. Closed questions stop conversation in its tracks. Open-ended questions continue the conversation, continue the discussion, and give the interviewee or the coachee or the person that we're working with or that we're talking to the ability to keep sharing, to keep unpacking what it is. Talk me through that. Or, how does that working out for you currently? What would you like to achieve in the future? Open-ended questions, let me tell you, they're your best tool. They are your best tool when it comes to motivational interviewing. The next one is affirmations. So what I mean by affirmations, and I'm going to give you two A words here, affirmation or appreciation. Now what I mean by that is that when you're doing motivational interviewing, and we found that it really helps to affirm what's going on for the particular person we're coaching or working with. So what that's about is affirming that they're working hard to change this, affirming that there's light at the end of the tunnel, affirming that everything that they've done to this point is right, affirming that their experience is okay, and appreciating, this is where the other A comes from, appreciating the fact that they're willing to share that with us and that they're willing to open up their heart and their mind to an opportunity to change, to improve, to change their behavior. And they're sitting with us because they're open enough to do that. So affirm and appreciate, affirm or appreciate, and make sure that the person that we're talking to feels appreciated, feels affirmed. Now, another thing with affirmations, and I'm going to throw this in there, it's not a Miller and Rollnick technique, it's just an Anton Guinea and the Guinea Group technique, is using affirmations. So using sayings, I've got this, or I'm capable, or whatever it is that the person could be thinking about regularly, to give them some skills and some ability and some confidence in those times when the going gets tough, or just before a race, for example. I've got this, I'm flying, I'm the fastest person on the planet, or whatever that happens to be. That's an affirmation. So that's another little tool or trick you could use. The next one is OARS, is reflective listening. Reflective listening, and this is listening with an open heart and open mind. And what we talk about when we say reflective listening, there's some really key skills when we're doing motivational interviewing, and it's about, when we say reflective listening, it's about rephrasing. It's about restating. So what I'm hearing is, so what you've told me is, and it's a statement that you make based on what you've heard. And yes, it's a statement. Yes, it feels like a question. And yes, it will help you keep going and unpacking what's going on for the person you're talking to. So always rephrase, restate. And a little bit more trick here, or another little tool and trick that we use, is a skill called reframing. Reframing. Now, what we mean by that is using languaging and using a situation, and we use this a lot in coping or resilience, where we talk about something that's happened that was a lesson. So that's, let's say, negative. We turn it into a positive. So we use the reframing technique so that the person we're talking to gets a different perspective. Could you see this? Or what I'm hearing is, and you might even, as part of that restatement or rephrasing, say, what I'm hearing is an opportunity, negative to a positive. That you learned something through the process, that what you're now doing or what you now could do is. So always listen for languaging and listen for a way to reframe. Yes, restate, rephrase. If there's an opportunity to reframe, take that too. Now, last one is to summarize. No motivational interview is complete without a summary at the end. And the summary is usually about actions. It's usually about outcomes. It's usually about what the person's going to do moving forward. And maybe even how you're going to support them more moving forward. So summarize. What we've talked about today is where to from here is, when are we meeting again, or when we're meeting again is. So really summarize. It's important to do, because this is a skill set actually. And I use this because I write a lot during motivational interviewing. So I can just flick back through notes and go, now what we've covered off on today is, and these are the actions. So that's the OARS process, Miller and Rollnick 2013, if you're looking for more information. Let me give you a quick 4 more tips. This is a little bit of added value, and it's called the rule technique. Now, OARS is about the process, rules about the skills. So the rule technique is this: resist the temptation to be right. As a coach, as a sports psych, as a leader, resist the temptation to be right. Now, what I mean by that is, it's easy when we're looking at someone else's behavior, right, to say, hey, why don't you just do this? It's called fixing. We don't want to be fixers. We want to be coaches. We want to be sports psychs. So we want to be leadership coaches. Or we want to just be leaders and coaches and mentors. Resist the temptation to be right. Use the word "you're right." Even if in your mind you can see an opportunity, even if you feel like you want to just go, hey, why don't you just do this? Back up. As soon as you feel yourself saying that, resist that temptation and go, hey, you're right. I agree. This is very tough for you. Let's talk through it some more. What we're trying to do in motivational interviewing is help the person we're talking to come up with the strategies. Now, the next one is rule. So understanding with empathy. And empathy is this, it's a concept from Daniel Goleman in the 1990s, and it's about emotional intelligence. It's about understanding. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes, which is a really, really important skill set when we're doing motivational interviewing, because we need to empathize, which means think about what they're going through, what they're experiencing. Try to feel their emotional experience and then have compassion for that to a degree, especially if we're doing a motivational interview with someone that's really struggling with something, that's got this deep issue, challenge in their life. So let's understand with empathy. Now, the next one is listen. Listen carefully. Listen with an open heart and open mind. And we've talked about reflective listening as part of the OARS process. The more you listen, the more the coachee will get value from the conversation, because sometimes they just want someone to talk to. And then the last one is empower. E is for empower. I'm a big believer in positive coaching, massive believer in positive psychology. Now, people tell me that they don't feel like they've been coached properly if they walk out of a coaching session happy. You know, I don't subscribe to that. For me, motivational interviewing is a positive experience. If people walk away positive, there's a better chance that they'll take action, because they've got a better emotional connection to what they've learned, what they've unpacked, what they've done, what they've talked about. So I'm big into empowering people. And one of the ways you can do that is have a really positive approach to your coaching or your motivational interviewing. Team, that's motivational interviewing. Again, a massive shout out to sports psychs, to coaches, to psychologists everywhere that are doing this work, that are helping people get through challenges and achieve all the goals that they want to in their life. And a massive shout out to all the people that we coach from a leadership perspective. Keep up the great work, everyone. And we'll see you on another video soon.